stitchy friends, welcome back. My name is Laura. You found Laladi Stitches, and I'm so glad you're here with me. It's been 2 weeks since my last Flosstube. I feel ridiculously on time, coming back so promptly. I have puttered around my stitching and touched a lot of whips in the last 2 weeks. It's been one of those 2 weeks chunks where I was really busy, and every time I sat down I wanted to stitch on something different with maybe 2 exceptions to that rule. I just kind of floated around with my projects and stitched like a pirate, and it was great. I had a lot of fun, and yeah, and I've got some new starts planned and for really this weekend. And then a little bit of a forecasting for what might happen in May. So I've got stuff to show. I haven't finished anything this round. All my projects I pulled were bigger, and so I made progress, but varying levels of progress, I guess it should be said. Or could be said. There's no shoulds here. It's all fun. I just realized I need to silence my phone. Otherwise, we'll get little little interruptions, and then my brain gets totally derailed like it is right now, and okay, there we go. We shouldn't have any interruptions. It's just us. Yeah, let's just jump in. This will be fun. What was I saying? No finishes, just progress. Sweet. It's all good. Okay, my first one is, I guess it's technically a new start, though I didn't start it this month. I just didn't share it last time. There are a couple of those in this little stack where I don't know, they slip between the cracks. I was just getting used to filming again. Okay. I've been watching a lot of Red Velvet Quilts. If you haven't watched her Flosstubes, you should. She does a lot. It's really fun. And she actually just put out a tutorial for project bags that I am stitching along with. Mostly I've done the cutout. I've done no stitching yet. But I'm excited because who doesn't want a new project bag, right? Want or need. Anyways, I don't know how long she's been working on this stitch. It's called Prim Stitch Series by Lori Holt. And here is one of the blocks. I'm going to start in the upper right corner, which is where I typically like to start. I like to kind of stitch down and across. Anyway, so this is the one I'll be stitching first. I can pop in a picture of what the whole thing will look like here. And yeah. Anyways, she's been working on hers for a while, I guess. And I am just getting started because it's so cute. It's so cute. And it looked like such a happy stitch. I was excited to start it. So I have just that first corner really established of the border and working on defining where the blocks will be for that first block. And it's cool, the chart, if you want to stitch them all together, you can stitch them either way, of course, however you want. Stitcher's choice. Let's see if I can get my ducks in a row here. Anyways, they give you just the start of each block. So this one, I want to say they give you like part of the little angel head there to start your stitching and basically make sure you get everything in the right spot, right? And I'm thinking that might be how I started. Well, plans may change, but if I could establish the box, get where the stitching would be started, and then move on to the next box, get that little starter point, then I could pick it up at any time, and it's truly just all the fun parts. So a bit of eating my vegetables until then, but there is something cathartic almost about stitching borders, especially borders that are repetitive. It's the same thing. Anyways, the colors are so pretty in this chart. And it did take me a little bit. So one of the options for stitching it is with the Aura Floss, which I believe is what Red Velvet Quilts is using. I don't have any of that, but I have DMCs and I have a selection of overdyes. So I've kind of got a hybrid of DMCs and overdyes that made my braids sparkly to stitch this with. So kind of called for, it's all same called for color families. I haven't like rewritten anything. It's just not the Aura Floss and not all DMC. But it's going to be so pretty. The colors are just joyful. Happy rainbow. And my fabric is probably still labeled. No, my fabric is a mystery. I'll figure that out by the time I show it to you next time. I have no cards. I'm actually truly out of, I like to write my project information on little 3x5 cards, and I ordered some and they are lost in translation somewhere in the universe. They're just floating around the United States. Nobody knows where they are. They'll get here eventually, and maybe I'll buy some in the meantime to hold me over. But right now, nobody seems to know where they are. So, you know, that's the mail for you sometimes. Okay, so that's super fun. Okay, the next one I will pop in a picture for, because I think my photocopy, I bought a digital pattern and I think my photocopy is in black and white, which is boring. This project is I Love Cross Stitch by Jet X Stitches. And it was part of a birthday sal with Kansas City Girl in a Colorado World. That's what it is. Anyways, I started it at the end of January and then put it away for, you know, a month or so, and then pulled it out and got a bit more stitching in it. So I'm stitching mine on 32 count Lugana Vintage Rose. So it's basically like the Vintage Country Mocha. It's a print, but in rose. And then I have switched out a couple of the more muted greens for brighter greens. And then I didn't have, I think it was a Threadworks blue she called for her blue. And I think mine is a Classic Colorworks. Anyway, so just a couple little shifts. This I shifted out. I don't seem to have my floss with me. Anyways, this is where I am. It's happy stitching also. And this is pretty much where the corner will be. So I've almost made it across the top. This is such a cute stitch. And it was really fun to jump on with her. It's so funny. I went into 2026. I'm not going to do any stitch alongs. And April was the month that, well, I guess January technically, I jumped onto this. But I'm joining 2 more stitch alongs this weekend. So, or this week, in the next week. So, you know, never say never, right? Especially when it comes to hobby crafts that bring you happiness. Okay. Next one is Spring Quaker by Leela Studio. I'm doing pretty much a full conversion on this into my version of springy springy vibes. So these are my flosses. And I'm doing, let's see here if we can show. Yeah, these are my flosses just for the Quakers and going around everything. Let me pull out my stitch. I'm stitching it on, what am I stitching it on? I should have this information somewhere. Yes, 20 count Thornfield Ada. And And yes, doing a big old conversion, which I have not posted on my community page yet, but I will once I get all of my Quakers outlined, which is what I've been working on. You'll see here in just a second. And I'm sure that I like the colors, then I'll post my conversion. So here is where I am. It's so pretty. So I'm basically just doing the outer ring of my Quakers. I had started up here. I think last you saw I had the flowers, the outline of the bee, my first little star here, and then this chunk of a Quaker. And I got that done and then started working my way down and realized I really wanted to see what all the colors look like. So I've just been doing outlines so far. I'll bring it in close so you can see a little better. I am stitching with one strand of floss, which is stitching up beautifully. I will say when you make errors, it's a bit of a pain to rip out on 40 count. It just shreds like crazy, but that's okay. Knock on wood. We won't be making too many of those. So I have, here are the rest of the colors with it. You can see I'm kind of doing almost a color flow around. So it's starting in these periwinkle blues and then moving into truer blues and into purples and kind of the from the lilacs into the violets and stuff. All of the words, all of the alphabet is going to remain the brown. And instead of black, I went with, I think it's Onyx. No, Black Coffee by Classic Colorworks. So it's just a little softer than the black, but still gives that fun pop of contrast. Anyways, I'm excited. I think the next one down here after this little bunny arch is this one. I think that's what goes down here. Such pretty colors. Anyway, she's a beaut. I'm loving it so far. And it's been really fun to make it my own. So, I'm going to keep plugging away. I would love to, like I said, get all of those Quakers outlined, you know, in the next month probably. So I get a full picture before I go like into like soft summer stitching, you know. I want to get those Quakers in. So tiny soft goals here. Okay, next project is Tiny Modernist Spring Traditions sampler. I'm stitching it on an unknown fabric. It's just a solid, but it's really pretty. It's this creamy, buttery yellow. And I worked on the border, which is almost done. I have the second, you can see at the bottom here, it's almost like a picket fence. So I have that second line to put in around the whole thing to get that picket fence effect. And then I will be ready to stitch the next house, which I think I'm just going to move up to this one, this blue house with the windmill and the cows. It's so cute. I love how warm all of these colors look on this linen. It's so pretty. Pretty fun. It was good car stitching the border because it's repetitive. It's equal through the whole thing. And so as long as we weren't hitting any major bumps, it made for good car stitching. Okay, so this next one, where's my book? Can I see it right here? I thought I had pulled it out. This next pattern comes from a book. Let's see here. Yes. I've got it right here. Okay. Sorry to bother you, Grace. She's turned into such an old lady. You're so cute. Yes, you are. I love you. Oh. Okay. So, my next project comes from Cross Stitch Happy Days by Kyoko Maruka. And I started this last summer as a sci-fi stitch, but with the Artemis flight around the moon and they just landed, I got super excited about this stitch again. And so, I mean, I didn't add in a whole world of stitching, but I did get work on it. And it was so fun to kind of celebrate that event. I mean, it's so exciting. My grandfather worked on the Apollo flights down in Cape Canaveral. And so I grew up with him telling stories and stuff. And so to be alive when we decide to do it again is pretty dang exciting. Anyways, here's what I stitched. So I pulled her out, and I believe all I had was part of the swirl, that first galaxy there. So I added in this little moon and our watcher gal, and started getting in where the cityscape will go. It'll be so fun to pull that arch in. I love not square edges, I guess, in cross stitch. I think it's fun. Anyways, pretty cute, pretty fun. She is our little watcher of the skies. She's so cute. Had to look at her again. Okay. And what fabric is that? We don't know. It's a mystery. Can I figure that out? This is a problem of, I used to stack all of my projects in between project bag sandwiches when I would prep for videos, but then I found that my project bags made the pile a lot slipperier, and I had it fall a few times. So I've started just stacking the projects and the patterns, which is a much smaller stack and less prone to toppling. But sometimes I forget to pull all of the information out of the bags that I need. Okay, here we go. This is the project bag it lives in. Let's see, that's my working copy, which has 0 helpful information on it. All right, well, it's blue, and it's solid, and I'm guessing it's a 28 count. But that's about all I can say. Call for DMCs, stitching over 2 threads. That's typically what I do, is I stitch with 2 strands of floss over 2 linen fibers or Lugana or whatever, even weave. And 32 is my favorite count, so when in doubt, it's most likely 32. Okay, next project is 100 Owls. I am doing a full conversion section by section. I have posted in the community page on YouTube what flosses I'm using. Now I am picking them section by section, so some of those flosses may be used, some of them may not be used. The closer I get to passing the halfway mark, the more I'm kind of settling into a palette and thinking that there are definitely some in there that will not be used, but it gives you a generalized list of what I am doing. when I pick my flosses, I am going online and looking at the real owls because that's fun. And the pattern does list them. And kind of picking my colors, my flosses based off of that. So here's where I am. I added the next section, which is the center tree, with the exception of, I think there's a little filler shape that sits next to it, but I haven't chosen that color yet. So the tree is done. I am officially, I believe, halfway through the owls, which is pretty exciting. And I did spend time picking floss for the next 3 or 4 sections that fill in this space, which is really exciting. And as we get down, there's a great gray owl that lives here. It's pretty dynamic. That one was tough to pull floss for without going out and shopping. But I think I've settled on colors that will look good, and, you know, may the odds be ever in my favor, right? This is being stitched on, picture this plus, it's a, I want to say a 28 count. See if my brain can remember, because again, I am lacking information right in front of me. I don't remember. I'm sorry. I know I've said it in all of my other videos though, so it's, the information is out there. I love it. I have considered pulling the center, I don't know, bow out, but you know, as I'm looking at it here in the camera, I think it's good. It does sometimes feel a little busy when I'm stitching on it, but it's good. I did wind up, if I come in close here, I don't know if you can see the color, but adding a soft kind of apricot to make these more into little blossoms that you get in springtime. And the color shows really nicely in person. It is subtle, but anyways, I thought that was a fun touch. So really enjoying this. Definitely don't plan on putting this away anytime soon. It makes a really good, it's really easy to just say, okay, I've pulled the floss colors for the next section. I'm just going to try to get that done. And whether I've done it as a length a day or just pulling it out for an evening, I just always enjoy it when I pull it out. So it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay in the rotation. Okay. I didn't get as much done on this one as I thought I would, but as I kind of alluded to, it's been a busy couple of weeks. I started Lily's Chickens by Teresa Kogut last month. Also, where do I find those scissors? Because those are cute as a button. How am I just noticing those? Anyways, distracted. I didn't stitch as much as I thought I would, but I did stitch a little bit. This is on a 20 count Aida again. That's kind of been my experiment of 2026, which I am enjoying. But what is this Aida? Nobody knows. I think it's a fiber on a whim. Curvinus. Apparently I'm completely unprepared for this video. Anyways, here she is. So I finished the butterfly and then started on Lily's head here. And I almost got through it, but I was watching Black Summer, which is a zombie show. I don't know if anybody else are fellow zombie show fans, but I was thoroughly distracted. But that's okay. I still got in a good amount of stitches. We won't talk about one of the ears being incorrect because nobody will know. But yeah, she's sweet. 20 count always feels so petite. Feels so delicate. She's so cute. anyways, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know if she'll be in my rotation going into the next chunk of time. She is sweet though, and I love her. Okay, next project is not going to look very impressive, but I wound up with an error in what I had stitched. So I had to pull out everything but the shelves and the moth and put it back in the correct spot. You know, it's a bummer when you're off by 2 stitches, but it does make a difference on projects like this. So I did shift it. Okay, so here's where I am. This is on 32 count navy bean by Lakeside Linens. I finished the moth. I ripped out all of my lily pads that I had stitched and then put them back in the right spot. They wound up being right up next to the moth. They were just too close. So I had miscounted, and that's okay. It's all good. It's all fixed. And now I get to start building and adding some of the gorgeous colors. This project is being stitched with the called for cottage garden threads, and the colors are just gorgeous. I pulled out the little bundle of flosses when I picked this up, and I thought I would get down into that first shelf, but not this time. But the colors are just so pretty, and I love how they stitch out. So fun. I do occasionally do a little bit of creative, like I'm not stitching across one way and back the other way with these flosses. I might do it if I'm in a solid chunk of color, but then if I wind up shifting colors, I might do some creative stitching just to create little blobs of color. So it's a little fussy stitching, but oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And I can't wait to get all the rest of the colors in there because some of these shapes are not fully formed yet. Isn't that moth pretty? I love it. That one's not going anywhere. Okay, this one's not going to look very exciting, but I did start spring in Seasons of the Heart. My winter roof remains where it was. I'm rebelling against it apparently, so you'll see this floss stowed away. It's just looped softly over there because it's actually ready to be stitched. So that's where I was on winter, and I have started the house for spring. I believe this is navy bean as well. I think this is another chunk of that 32 count. But I'm stitching them all on the same fabric, and I'll cut them apart when I'm done. But my goal is to get them all, really I'd like to get the houses and the start of the vine done on all of them this year, and then next year they'll make for really quick finishes. Unless I get obsessed and start making more significant progress, which is not impossible. This one is really cute. And the bulk of the stitching is in the houses on all of them. I love those airy trees with the big wide moth above it. So fun. So, pretty cute. And I have pulled, I'm just doing a floss pull from stash for all of these. I'm not buying anything extra. So sometimes it's the called fors. A lot of times it's not on this one, but that's fun too. Okay, this one was fun. I actually worked on this one for a couple of days. I was just enjoying it. Sampler Hill by Brenda Gervais. And we're gonna have some planes for a minute, which makes sense because we actually had a blizzard yesterday. I'm not even exaggerating. And so nobody was flying anywhere, except for the airport. It's not like it shut anything down, but the base is pretty quiet on bad weather days. Today it's gorgeous. Big fluffy clouds moving through and cold, very cold, but Oh, Utah weather is wild this year. Okay, so here's where I am. Hopefully I popped in a before picture while I did all that rambling. I finished the blossoms or fruits or whatever those are on the tree. Came down, added those big kind of oak looking leaves. And then I have started on the house, and barely started, but have started filling in the hill. I love this project. What am I stitching it on? I'm pretty sure I have that information. Oh, it slid off. It's a 32 count Mayflower. And I love it. These colors are so, they're almost citrusy, with the exception of those roses. So pretty. Anyways, I think I'm halfway done with the house, and I'm excited to get that roof in because there's a big blue star that sits in the middle here. And the roof is kind of a brighter pink too, so we'll just, I think it will shift how the colors read. Anyways. I love it. It's been really fun working on this one. I would imagine planes. I would imagine they'll stay in the rotation because I'm enjoying working on it. I'll just let them pass so I don't have to yell. Okay, Jenny's bean garden, the green bean sampler, which I always call Jenny's green beans, because that's a lot of words, by Shakespeare's Peddler. I pulled this out again this month and really enjoyed working on it. This is on a piece of 32 count linen I dyed. So I added in all of the blue blossoms and then extended this Prairie Point border, which is almost complete. And then, but I think I ran out of floss. And then I started adding in leaves to what I call the carrot border on top. Yeah, she's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous. I would love to finish this side border this year and this top, like get, 50% of the border in and then maybe start working on the bones of the center. It's just gorgeous. This is definitely a year I'm stitching on a lot of blue linens, kind of blue greens. You'll see why in a bit. Anyways, she's so pretty. Love this project. I was really happy to pull it out again. She's not going anywhere. Okay. Next. Okay, I did get some work on this. Not a ton. This is Nature's Journey by Sprouting Lupine. Or Lupin, or however you say it. I've always said lupine. And another 32 count linen I dyed. Let's see here. Here is where she sits. I pretty much did this moth and that flower. Not a ton. But progress is progress. It's good. And my goal is to have the autumn section finished by May 21st so that I can then get the winter section done before summer starts on June 21st, I believe is the first day of summer. So a little bit counts. So cute. I love this project. I'm really excited to finish this one and hang it up next to my pollinator stitch. I think they'll be really fun companion pieces. I'll probably do a soft finish on it, but I don't know, maybe I'll buy a custom frame and put it in a frame. That would be special. And they just circling today. Okay, that is everything I stitched on in the last 2 weeks. Kind of all over the place, but you know, I made some good progress on 50% of it and a little bit of progress on all the others. So, so now let's talk a little bit about my plans. I am going to be starting, I believe it's the 22nd. So next Wednesday, I might not start it that day. I might start it before or after that. That one wasn't bad. On a sampler for Grace, which XO Needle in the Hay, XO, I think is her handle on Instagram. Annie is stitching this, and she's going to break it up into 12 parts for us, and I'm just going to follow along with that. So I've been trying to gather supplies because this project is stunning, and maybe you guys can help me out because I'm between two fabrics. I purchased one and it's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous, in fact. But I don't know. I'm undecided. So first, I have this larger piece of platinum, which is, you know, platinum. It would be easy stitching, and the colors, which I'm sorry are in this reflective bag, but they would really pop. Especially those rainbows, which the border is, you know, elaborate and rainbowy and spectacular. But this is similar, a little pinker, and I think it might be the kind of pink quality to it. It's probably not going to translate in the camera as much as it shows in my eyeballs, but I don't know. Can you guys kind of see? Through all the reflections, the sun is poking out right now, so everything's brighter. I'm going to open this little bag, sorry. See if we can pull, especially the pinker colors, because I feel like that's where I'm like, I don't know if this is, I mean, it looks good. There's no doubt. This fabric looks good. But is it doing the colors all the favors that it can? I don't know. Okay, here we go. I kind of turned, yeah, that helps you see kind of the pinky quality to it. And obviously this is not all the colors. There are reds, there are a lot of browns, there's that yellow and the blue, because there's that big flag at the bottom. So there's that. I mean, they are pretty gorgeous. Maybe this is the one. Maybe that's the one. Maybe I just answered my own question. But we'll still do this little toss on platinum as well. See, doesn't that just feel kind of clean? I don't know. And especially where there's a lot of detail, and then there was that whole section at the top that is 1/1. Maybe clean is good. I don't know. Give me your thoughts. I'm not starting it before because I want to see where she's going to start us. But I guess I might get a little bit later start on, I don't know, I have some live stuff happening next week. So anyways, but I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards platinum now. Kind of leaning there. I would have to cut and edge a piece, but yeah. So anyways, either way, whichever fabric I choose, I will be joining in that stitch along, which will be really fun. I'm looking forward to it very much. The pattern is gorgeous. I love everything about it. I love the intention behind it. And yeah, it's all good. It's all good stuff. So I'm excited for that. And then tomorrow, we're gonna have another plane. Tomorrow I am starting All Things Wise and Wonderful, which I'm just shortening to Wise and Wonderful because it's a mouthful. I love it. I had my friend came into town this week for a couple of days, and we had kind of a couple of girls' days, which was so much fun. Like what an uplift. Oh my gosh, I'm covered in fuzzies. It looks like I have dandruff. It's fine. Not that I do have dandruff sometimes, because, you know, psoriasis in your scalp is the devil. But this is just fabric fuzzies all over my sweater. It's good. It's fine. Anyways, while she was here, we went to Shepherd's Bush, and then we stitched. And I found the perfect fabric that made my brain juices all happy for this project. I'd kind of gone back and forth between a few, and I wound up settling on this gorgeous green, which is not going to play nice with the camera because the greens never do. Oh, that even makes it look more gray. It's really, really beautiful. It's not jade, but it's like a dustier version of a jade. I think that's a good way to put it. It is actually called Seraphim Linens Boston, and it's 28 count. So it will be, you know, a bed sheet, but it's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so beautiful. This is the called for border vine, which is collards. And then I'm swapping out, I'm going to keep the vine, the called for, I've decided. And then I have a lot of the called fors, but I'm just going to kind of play with all the other components of this stitch and just have fun with it. Especially where it's on a 28 count. This is going to be delightful stitching, just comfortable, even on bad head days. It's going to be really good. So these are my colors I've chosen for all of the little blooms that go through the border, because I didn't have the called fors. So I have Indian Summer, Candied Yams, Cherry Cobbler, and Tennessee Red Clay, which may be the only actually called for one, but we built off of that. I'm so excited. I'm going to start in the upper right corner tomorrow, and I'm going to get some vine in, and I'm going to get that giraffe stitched because he is so happy. He just looks like he's dancing. You can't see him probably, but you will when I get him stitched. So I'm very excited. This is going to be really fun. I was going to wait till the 22nd, but I have some life stuff. So I'm going to start this weekend. So I have a start on it. And then Barbara Anna went and like rocked my world by launching a new stitch along today. I saw it, I think 2 days ago when I was scrolling the interwebs and gasped out loud. She even only showed like a fuzzy corner. I'm like, owls and gorgeous colors. And then we saw the reveal this morning. I'm like, owls with flower hats? Yes, count me in. Sold. It's 3 parts. If you go onto her Ko-Fi while it's actively running, it's only $4 a pattern. So I have this fabric, which is a 32 count Purple Passion. I haven't done a floss test yet, but I have no doubts that it's going to be spectacular. And I'm going to start it today. I'm very excited. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so cute. Ah! I would squeal louder, but if you're wearing headphones, I don't want to like cause a buzz. Okay, so those are the 3 starts. And I'll probably, I'm going to keep puttering at Jenny's Green Bean and Nature's Journey and Sampler Hill. Those are probably the 3 I'm the most kind of entrenched in, I guess, from what I had been working on. And who knows what others I will work on. But then we're going into May. Now, I haven't done... What was the first year I did Stitch Mania? Probably 2019, 2018, 2019. When it was like still an active hosted stitch along where you start a bunch of things in the month of May and you just have fun starting a bunch of things. It's like the cure to startitis is just starting everything. And then you're like, okay, I'm good. I'm good. But I haven't done that for a couple of years because I've been pretty good about, or consistent, maybe is the way to say, about starting, a couple projects a month. Which, I was going to try to pull back from this year, but whatever. Best laid plans. Anyways, I have started a few things in April. So I don't know. I'm not going to say I'm not going to start anything. But I don't know that I'll start anything in May. But I do kind of want to participate in some form of Stitch Mania. So mine is going to be a Stitch Mania from Stash with all the alliteration I can think of. So we've got Mushroom May, Mira May, Manning May, Mariner May, Magical May, Mermaid May. and the list goes on. And from those, I have pulled, 5 or 6 projects that, it might be fun to put some stitches into. So I thought we'd just run through those real quick. The first one is my May Iris, which is a little obvious, but gosh, it's so gorgeous. And I loved working on this last year. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. And they're really active. Okay, so I swapped out the fabric for this, I think it's called Lily. Do I have that information? Water Lily by Witchelt, which I just had in my stash at the time. And I'm using the floss from the kit. And she's a stunner. I love, love, love her. In fact, I pulled her out of the project bag today to give her a little press, and my eyes turned into hearts. So I'd like to get some stitches in on that. I pulled out River Drift House because it's the Must Fly sampler. I don't know. Why not? Which I only have a corner started on because I was working with silks and I had a bit of a snafu in decision making between 1 strand versus 2 strand. We've settled it. It's all good. We're going to go with 1. Yes. But I'm ready to continue, and this project is so cute. It would be really fun to get down into those birds and moths and pots of flowers and stuff. Because how else will we ever get to that spectacular tile quilted red section? Anyways, so that would be fun to pull out. Okay. For Amira, I was thinking Floral Dream. Nora Corbett, but same designer. This is where she sits. I have not worked on her in a while. I am thinking I might pull out, I did the back stitching as called for, but there are some really long lengths between, going into a hole. And I'm considering pulling it out and doing individual stitches. Now, the downside to that would be, I think it will be a little bit more bumpy. Whereas the long stitches, well, they, perhaps run the risk of not sitting where they're supposed to. They do give a softer curve in some ways. I mean, it does kind of look like a woman's silhouette. Anyways, for now, when I pull it out, I'll ponder that and work on the puddle of blanket that sits down here. So, she's a beaut. For my manning, I'm pulling out Prairie Sunrise, which is my only active manning right now. I also have Peachy Keen, I think is what it's called, and I love the colors, but I haven't started that one. I've been a good girl because I'm not even a quarter of the way through this one. But I loved stitching on this one, and it's warm and cozy, and I love it. Beautiful. So I might work on that one. I will probably work on that one. one of my sections, oh, this is kind of a stretch, but mariners need what? Lighthouses. So I pull out Split Rock Lighthouse. My voice is leaving me. Which I started last year, and I've just been working on this rocky cliff. Called for floss, called for fabric, just from the kit. But, you know, it's a little bit bony and undefined right now. But it's about to reach the point where magic starts happening. So that would be fun. For the theme of magical, I pulled out Master Sword and Ocarina, which I'll have to put a picture in. And which way does this sit? Nobody knows. I don't know which way is up. I'll figure that out. But this one's always hard to show because the fabric does not have so much white in it. Oh, there we go. That's better. Cameras are funny what they pick up. Anyways, there is stitching there. My little Zelda fandom stitch. And, okay, Kingfisher, which feels like a stretch, but one of my sections is Mother Earth. And I've been wanting to stitch on this, so, you know, I have barely anything done on it. Let's change that. Actually, I think that might be upside down. Maybe like that? Gosh, this fabric is gorgeous. I love that. And last but not least, pulled out my one and only mermaid that's active right now. And I wasn't actually going to work on her this year. Like, she was kind of in the cold storage section of the world. But she's gorgeous. Crystal Mermaid, Aquabella. And, you know, even if I just worked on her for a couple of days in May, that would be something. She's on this jade that never shows well. It looks way more gray than it is in real life. See if I can get any color to show accurately. No. Okay. We'll give up then. Ooh, almost. It's getting there. Anyways, she's gorgeous. She doesn't look like much right now, but that's because I haven't stitched on her in a year. Let's change that. Okay. Kind of flew through those, but I actually have an appointment, so I was kind of speeding through. I'm sorry, my friends. I don't normally I just kind of try to like ease into enjoying time with you, and I've kind of been like rattling at lightning speed today, but so gonna keep working on some of my spring whips because it's still spring. I'm gonna try to finish that section of Nature's Journey. I'm gonna pull out some fun May projects, and then I've got a couple new starts. So it's gonna be a really fun couple. Oh, I'm going to say a few weeks. It's going to be about 3 weeks until my next video. So my life stuff I've been alluding to, I'm not going to go into details with, but I am having surgery on Tuesday. And we're figuring some things out. So I will be stitching, hopefully, a lot after a couple of days when I'm a little clearer. But I'll be in bed. I'll be kind of bed bound for, you know, a little bit. And then, but I should be hopefully getting a lot of stitching done. But it's going to probably be 3 weeks before my next video. I'm just going to give myself some time to really feel myself. Sometimes, you know, you bounce back really quickly and you're like, I'm good. And other times your body says, slow down. And I have a feeling this might be more of a slow down one. So yeah, wish me luck. I could use all the good vibes. But yeah, that's kind of where things sit. So I'm going to keep stitching. I'll definitely be back with my next Flosstube before my next quilting bee. I am still going to try to do a quilting bee in May, but it will probably be towards the end of May at this point, just because of surprise surgeries. So, okay. Take care of yourselves, my friends. I hope the weather is not completely, teeter-tottery for you like ours is. I heard that, I saw in the news that Michigan was having like epic, is it Michigan or Minnesota? Having like epic hail. I hope everybody's okay. That looks terrifying. I don't want anything the size of a baseball falling from the sky. That's not my jam. I'm not happy with that. So I hope everybody is well, and everywhere else where the weather is equally, I don't know, just like undecided on what mood it wants to do. We had summer, and then we had winter, and then we had spring, and now we're back to winter again. But I think summer's coming back later this week, so we're just gonna ride the wave. We're just gonna ride the wave. What an adventure life is. Okay, take care of yourselves. I hope we get lots of stitching in, and I will see you as soon as I can. Bye, my friends.